Polako, mali.
Ajmo, Ruki, ajmo, još pričaš o parama, ajde se bijemo. Hoćeš li? Ti, imaš problem neki, a? Ajde, imaš neki problem, možemo ga riješiti lično, dotva. Tvoje karte su bile bolje. Roki, ti nisi skapirao iznela priču, ove pare ođe ostaju, ove pare ne idu za nikakvu Sloveniju, za Goricu. Ovo ostaje sve u Beogradu.
Sad ćemo igrati moju igru.
Šahmat.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this MMA rules bout takes place in the minus 77 kilogram welterweight division. This bout will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Mr. Franco Kleeman. Introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, age 33, he stands at 183 centimeters tall. He brings an excellent record, 32 fights with 18 wins and 14 defeats. Representing GB Top Team from England, it's the Crazy Kid, Brad Wheeler! And opposing him on the other side of the cage, fighting out of the red corner, he's aged 26 and standing at 189 centimeters tall. His record an excellent one, 10 fights, 8 wins, and only 2 defeats. Representing MMA Radnicki Nish from Serbia, it's Jovan Marjanovic. Fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Guys, you know the rules. Listen to my commands all the time. Protect yourself all the time. Touch gloves. Step back.
So, the numbers tell us one thing, and that is experience lies in the corner of Brad Wheeler. Anything else for you, Chris?
Yeah, for sure, the experience and what's in there. A lot of combined stoppages, win or lose for both fighters.
One of a scheduled 3. Brad Wheeler of the UK takes on Jovan Marjanovic. Switch hitting away here, hailing from Serbia. Good high kick. Throws it up with ease. The left. Look at Wheeler straight in there. Drives in behind the punches.
Wheeler's a really crafty grappler. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he wants to press that here. I would have thought, having seen his workouts recently, having seen the focus on the pads, he might want to be in a little bit of a boxing match, especially if Marjanovic is a little bit too overconfident. Well, that's where Wheeler can catch him on the counter.
So Marjanovic under a bit of pressure on the wire here. That height advantage not really working for him. Wheeler's got in tight. That body clinch so tight there, trying to get his left knee behind to get some leverage there to try and shift Marjanovic. But now you see the height differential, and that's making life difficult for Wheeler. At first I thought it was negated, but no, Marjanovic controlling very well there. And yeah, Wheeler already spotted damage to the eye or bridge of nose of Wheeler, and he's struggling now. There's the leg takedown.
Lovely. It was beautiful use of the frame there for Marjanovic. He actually used the whizzer and the forearm, fought, got the single, ran the pipe away from the cage. Heavy ground and pound.
Wheeler's in a bit of trouble here. I said there was a bit of wear and tear on the nose or the eye, but he's taking shots, maybe too many. Just look at the athleticism. Marjanovic comes in hard and heavy with those shots. It's a ground and pound finish for me. Referee looking very closely. Referee Kleeman must be taking note of this and observing. Wheeler, well, in all kinds of trouble. Locks in, a closed guard, but he struggled there. That was a very heavy exchange, wasn't it, Chris?
Extremely. It looked to me like Wheeler was actually trying to get a reap on the knee and go for a leg entry, but he closed his guard up. He's broken the posture. That guy's got a chin. He took some heavy, heavy, heavy shots. He was fighting on instinct there, Will.
Was there a point or a case there at which you could have said it wasn't intelligent defense? He's struggling here now, and if Marjanovic gets on top, there's all kinds of problems there for Wheeler. There's blood in the eyes. Referee letting it continue. Marjanovic absolutely throwing himself in there, and Wheeler gets up on his feet, on his toes. Incredible recovery.
It would definitely have been a case of maybe 2 or 3 unanswered punches at a couple of times where the referee could have stood in, but Wheeler, again, he regarded, and as we saw there then, after that exchange, he got back up, so he is showing some improvements to the position. I do understand the decision to keep this thing going. Incredible heart from Wheeler.
Exactly. Marjanovic switch hitting, leading with the right now. He's got a great high kick. There you go, he brings it up again with ease, and Wheeler on instinct now, round the outside of the octagon here, having to keep out of trouble, not offering much except for, well, survival. Takes the low kick on the inside thigh. Up goes the high kick. Marjanovic eased back on the pace now, and Wheeler comes forward, gets in on the inside, but I don't really see what he can do here at this stage. Marjanovic outclassing him.
Nice hand fighting here from Marjanovic. I want to see him keep kicking and absolutely disallow this.
Yeah, that height advantage is stopping Wheeler from having his way with the takedown. Marjanovic taking stock, taking in some air, expended a lot of energy trying to finish Wheeler. And a minute and a half now to go in this first round. We've seen a lot of first round finishes here tonight, but Wheeler still in there, still working away. That's hard. Grinds his man, can't get the leverage to take him down. Tries to put that left leg behind for a little inside sweep, doesn't manage it. And Marjanovic balancing this very well in terms of dealing with the aggression of Wheeler, but Wheeler's in all kinds of trouble now. Needs to survive this. Gets knocked down. He's down. The ground and pounds in. Referee very close. Has to be at this stage. And look at that, Marjanovic. Those thrusting elbows going in. Wheeler taking all kinds of punishment here.
That was nuts. He went deep half guard, then got to his knees, got back up. How was Wheeler still standing?
Right hand, left hand, referee steps in, it's all over. It's a knockdown in the first round. Landed those shots beautifully like Dreamliners stacking up to land at JFK. Oh, Wheeler took punishment. I have to say, I was surprised that was allowed to go on as long as it did. It was a cul-de-sac for Wheeler.
And so this MMA rules bout takes place in the minus 70 kilogram lightweight division. This bout will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Mr. Franco Kleeman. Introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, 26 years of age and standing at 170 centimeters tall. He brings a record of 15 fights with 11 big wins and 4 losses. He's representing Naksu Thai. From Brazil, please welcome Julio Tyson Pereira. And opposing him on the other side of the cage, he's fighting out of the red corner. Age just 22 and standing at 180 centimeters tall. His record, a perfect one. 5 fights, 5 wins. Representing Ahile Fighting Academy from Serbia, where he's known as the Skull Crusher, Marko Fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Fighters, you know the rules. Listen to my commands all the time. Protect yourself all the time. Touch gloves. Step back.
You saw just before the touch of gloves, a little bit of psycho warfare from Bojkovic. This is the third Brazilian fighter. You never know what you're going to get. Jungle fight. He's a current champion. And oh, there's a hand that knocked him down. It's a right hand. It's all over. Where did that come from? My goodness me. That left hand. Oh, this guy. This is a night of first round KOs. What a performance from Bojkovic. Rushes over to, well, commiserate with his opponent. And Pereira managed to make his way.
Хочу да покажем што боле од себе. За мене непријател сваки пат леќев кога будем видео напашќа го и тоа. Мислим да сме ни волали спорт. Nakon ovog sam siguran da mu se sva vrata otvaraju.
Još energije, još fokusa, još snage. B5 probudi sve u sebi.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this bare knuckle boxing rules bout takes place in the minus 77 kilogram welterweight division. This bout will be contested over 5 2-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Alexander Zodic. Introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, age 31 years old and standing at 180 centimeters tall. Tonight he's making his bare knuckle boxing debut. He's representing MPBJJ and Nova Uneo Manus. From Brazil, it's Alexandre Leclerc Ribeiro. And on the other side of the cage, fighting out of the red corner, he's aged 34 years old and standing at 170 centimeters tall. His bare knuckle boxing record so far a perfect one with 4 fights, 4 wins. He's representing Fight Company Belgrade. From Montenegro, it's Vaso Psycho Bakojevic. Fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Fighters, you know the rules. Listen to my command all the time. When I say stop, you stop. Touch fist, go to...
Total unknown quantity in BKB is Ribeiro.
Right, well, expect anything and everything tonight. Bakojevic is a real showman. He knows his stuff. When it comes to BKB, he's a trickster. He really is a barrel of monkeys. Gets straight in and starts laying the heavy hands on. Ribeiro needs to cover up. This is not a Muay Thai bite. He hasn't got the time there to get warmed up. Bakojevic, so confident, goes downstairs, comes downstairs. He's such a trickster, a real barrel of monkeys.
Lots of different looks here from Bakojevic. He's got to move that head. And it's totally different because you can throw the punches low with these lack of gloves. You can drop the hands. There's a different kind of utilization of the hand fight.
Well, he's using everything. He's coming in behind the head, Bakojevic, switch hitting, doing all kinds of things to throw Ribeiro off. Ribeiro just trying to settle in, but look at Bakojevic. He's got this all under control if he can close the distance. Comes in slugging, big hands, heavy hands, looking to do damage.
Ribeiro looks a little bit uncomfortable in here.
Starting to get the skills and plays the matador against the bull. And Bakojevic, you never know what's going through his mind. Look at him, just so unpredictable. Little half steps, the shuffles, and closes the distance, comes in with his head down, doesn't use the head, but he uses it to advantage. And Ribeiro, well, treating this with extreme caution. It's like trying to wrestle a bear in line at McDonald's.
And you can see how Ribeiro is just thinking, I wish I could kick here. You can see his stance, he's kind of played it a little bit. Even the way he's moving forward. Bukocevic is just dancing all over the place, where Ribeiro is much more of like a prototypical Muay Thai stance.
Yeah, the lack of legs. Look at him, he's doing all kinds of trickery in there. He's so slippery, Bukocevic. Everything that you can think of, he is throwing in there. He just is so tricksy. And you got to love him. He's a showman, and he does put on a show. We're out of the first. And yeah, now Ribeiro's had a chance to settle down and settle in. Let's see what's in store. But Bukocevic, you just got to love this man. I've known him for years. I knew him when he fought early doors at WFC in Slovenia. And he was just as wild, just as unpredictable then.
Taking a look at it, just the closure of the distance and the hooks. Any of the straight punch advantages that we would have seen from Ribeiro was completely taken away. And Bukocevic, again on the angle there, it's a totally different art. The way he dips his head, goes low, goes high. Ribeiro just was completely confused. And again, like, if you haven't felt that, if you haven't trained enough of that, and even moved from training camps into competition, that's an advantage for Bukocevic here.
And you got to remember, this is bare knuckle. There's nothing between you and bone. When he's got Bukocevic throwing those shots, that's a knuckle that's going in. So we go to 2. Scheduled for 5 2-minutes. Let's see how round 2 plays out. You need to execute a quality defense against Bukocevic. He's got great power. He spreads his weight, big stance, and he makes out he breaks. But you got to watch him, because there's always a take that with you when you go. And covers up. Look at him slip. Great footwork, and he loves it. You know, you've got to smile, because he just loves the game. And look at him, it's like he's schooling Ribeiro, but he's not doing anything. It's all show. There's lots of flash here, lots of glitz. It's a real bling affair here tonight. But make no mistake, he's legit. Bukocevic comes in close. Look at him pull his opponent in. I mean, he uses a little bit of grappling there to get in there and throw Ribeiro. Ribeiro doesn't know what's going on. He is like a cat that's been put in the central reserve of the motorway. He doesn't know whether to go left or right, and there's traffic screaming past.
It's actually nice to see him now settle in and throw a 1-2. He just landed the first nice jab cross, really, of the fight for me. Bukocevic is, I think, laying so much confusion, and a lot of the flim-flam that we're seeing here is throwing Ribeiro off. Nice cross there, but again, Bukocevic, he takes 1 and gives 4 or 5.
Yeah, he landed there quite heavily. It's Joker's wild with Bukocevic, but there's damage on the left eye of Bukocevic. And look at him, he says, are you all right? And then he laughs at him. Look, this is the showmanship. This is what the crowd come for. They love it. And look at him. This is just unbelievable. It is Joker's wild. Great entertainment and legit skills. And I mean, he's light on his feet because he's thick set, isn't he?
It's unbelievable to see just how one connection changed the whole course of the fight there. Bukocevic backing off. Ribeiro's got to pull the trigger, though. Again, it's going to be a losing round here if he doesn't get behind a solid jab, land the cross. He's at no point, especially from the southpaw position, been able to command distance like we thought he needed to. Again, I've got this 2 rounds to Bukocevic.
Well, it's incredible. At FNC 17, we've had so many first-round finishes, we've almost given up counting scores, you know, because we're never out of the first to make it worthwhile. So I'm glad to see you're keeping tabs on it, Guru. Listen, Bukocevic just dances his way in, and, you know, he's like a real Trojan. It's just unbelievable. Goes in, feints his way in, disguises what he's up to, and then look at that, manages to land shots. If that uppercut had landed, he'd have floored his opponent Ribeiro here tonight. But well, we're out of 2 now. We're into 3. What's your prediction, Chris?
Well, I think it's interesting we finally hit the 3rd round. I still don't feel like this one's going to go the distance, because Bukocevic is doing a really nice job of moving his head off the center line, off the line of attack, if you will, and avoiding incoming punches and then throwing his own. He landed one really good connection there that last round. Maybe 2 or 3 more of those and we could see an ending here.
Runs to the center, runs back. Look at him, so low. Look at this. You know, he uses that height disadvantage to huge advantage. Switch hits coming in. I mean, he's bamboozling Ribeiro here. And Ribeiro can't take a chance because, you know, what you might do with gloves on, what you might do if you're able to kick, you can't do here. You're reliant solely on your hands. And he's loving this. This is a fun day out for Bukocevic. And so is the crowd. So we're at 3. No guard, just dancing around the ring. Flies in, shoots from the hip. And he's kind of like a one-man Bermuda Triangle, isn't he? He's just so dangerous everywhere around him. And you just don't know what to make of any of it. I mean, all this finger pointing, look at it, the touch of the leg there, throwing everyone off, the Philly guard, and the ducking of the head down, going right below the reach of Ribeiro. Big cut on the cheekbone of Ribeiro, and there's a lot of apologetic gestures from Ribeiro, but none from Bukocevic.
Bukocevic has just got to continue to go to the body and then go upstairs and move his head, load up on power. I like how he's pulling some of his punches as well. We saw actually a couple of times he's pulled the left, and it's smart because he obviously was caught actually maybe about a minute ago by a short right hand from Ribeiro. So he's definitely not completely out of the woods yet. Ribeiro is a seasoned guy, right? He's not going to literally just bow out and go out in a shield like this.
Absolutely, but Ribeiro now starting to stutter with the punches, not committing to them because he doesn't quite know how Bukocevic will react, whether he'll block, whether he'll duck under, whether he'll step out, or whether he'll use that. You see, look how nervous Ribeiro is, just leaps back, but not because Bukocevic has done anything, it's because Bukocevic has threatened, and that's the state of mind that Bukocevic puts you in. He really does play the head game with you. Now he looks like he's bored, doesn't he? It's like an orca with a seal.
And again, this is the game, right? You want to kind of, well, A, hit and not be hit, but more importantly, make your opponent have some doubt, right? You want them to have a little bit of uncertainty about where you're going to be, where the headspace is, and so on, when to time. Potentially their advantages, because Ribeiro has some natural advantages in this fight, which haven't played out really in the slightest, besides maybe on 1 or 2 punches he's landed.
Bukocevic, 70 MMA fights alone. He's been around a long time, and he's a toughster. And he's lost dramatically too in MMA bouts. You know, it's not all been plain sailing for Bukocevic, but you know, he comes to each bout with no lack of enthusiasm, and he's a natural joker. And a couple of years ago, in fact, during COVID and lockdown, we shared a minibus back to the airport with Bukocevic, and we said to him, you know, what are you doing for your training? And he said, I'll show you what we're doing. Stop at the next Mackie D's. And he filled his face with whatever he could. He's great, he's great, you know. And so here he is getting stuck in now. He's got bored. He wants to finish this. You can tell he's going to go in there now and have a slugfest. And, you know, he's saying, sorry about the cut to the eye, but that's all the psychological game. And Ribeiro saying, come on, bring it on, bring it on. Look at him. Just, you got to love him, man. I mean, you know, he's like, I don't know what the term is, in a bullfight when they send out, is it the picadors to upset and wind up the bull? He is just out there. And look at that, slips a punch in overhand. Referee says break. Right, we're in round 4 of 5. We didn't think it would go the distance, but it has so far. Let's see if Bukocevic can finish, or a surprise rabbit out of the hat from Ribeiro.
It's interesting as well because this is a bit of an anomaly. We saw his last fight go the distance, but usually it's first rounders. Like 14 of the last 7 fights have been one-rounders for Bukocevic.
Now look at him go. He's up the pace and he's knocked down Ribeiro, but tumbles over himself. There's a count. Came in, body punches, came upstairs, and he managed to force a standing count for Ribeiro. Tumbled himself. Ribeiro went to one knee. Ribeiro wants to get back to the action, and the referee's calling the doctor. A lot of damage on that right eye, and this is the danger of the bare knuckle game. And they're cleaning him up, they're having a look. So I don't know whether the doctor's going to have a look to see whether it will be allowed to continue or whether it's just a clean-up job. Nasty gash.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, 1 or 2 good punches could completely change the course of this fight. He obviously had one really solid connection in the second round, which opened up the first cut. And here finally in the fourth, we've seen a really significant couple of blows land, and that's what's at stake in this game.
So, the referee's happy. Mr. Zoric checked rightfully, had that eye looked at, clock on. So I think Bukocevic, as I say, realises now that the showboating is over. I mean, just look at what he's doing here. This is just unheard of, and he ducks under that uppercut. Why would Ribeiro throw an uppercut to a man that's kneeling down? Throws punches, and Ribeiro down on one knee. There's the second count. And Ribeiro hasn't got an answer. It's almost as if it's a psychological towel into the ring, isn't it?
It's crazy to see Bukocevic being able to find his way in with those uppercuts. He's landed, obviously, I think twice in this round very cleanly, and once they're converting the knockdown off that right uppercut. Again, the natural advantages for Ribeiro that you would look at, he has not been able to implement apart from maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
He's just chasing a will-o'-the-wisp. I have to say, all props to Vaso Bukocevic. He's developed a technique that just works so well for a smaller fighter. When he gets in on the inside, look at him work the body, looking to hit those ribs, the bone. That uppercut was thunderous. He got two in there and he drops his man. Look at that right hand. Bone-crushing punches there. Absolutely phenomenal. He goes to work when the opportunity presents, and he's just performed brilliantly here. That's what he's here to do. He's here to win, and he's done what he needs to do, using everything. You know, it's almost as if he's opened up the cupboard, the kitchen cupboard, and said, let's bake a cake. Curry powder? Why not?
Extra sugar?
Why not?
A little bit more flour?
Why not?
And the sprinkles?
Yeah. Throw it all up in the air, put it in the oven, take it out, put it in, take it out. Yeah, we put it in, close the door, turn up the heat. Here we go. Fifth and final round. What an absolute home bake this has been. So, the first time we've gone the full 5 or the full distance on any bout here tonight at FNC 17. Meridian Bet epic clash. And Vaso Bukocevic has schooled his opponent, Alexandro Ribeiro, in the art of bare knuckle boxing.
And it has been an absolute masterclass as far as him being able to kind of go in there and turn the screw. We've seen him up the ante a little bit there in the fourth round. He's obviously made Ribeiro feel very uncomfortable, and never really being able to settle into the fight is a disadvantage in BKB for sure, especially.
You know, and you can see a different skill sets required for bare knuckle boxing. You'd think that a boxer would be able to go in and do this. No, 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 no. You can take a jab from a boxer. Taking a jab from a bare knuckle boxer, well, that's going to stop you in its tracks in and of itself. So it's a different game, a different set of rules and skill sets that Bukocevic has applied here tonight. Look at those flying attacks. He points the finger and he says, watch out, look at him come for the kill. There's the right hand, he knows he can finish it now. Oh, and this time Bukocevic gets caught. Bukocevic caught by Ribeiro. What a reversal. That was a mistake. Is he acting? Is he showboating, Bukocevic? He's all over the place. He's been caught. This is a real turn up for the books. He's been hurt. It's not a game. He's not showboating. He's being counted.
This might be the beginning of the end here, Will. He was hurt very, very badly. The referee was looking and may step in again.
It's all over. He takes the count. On his knees, Bukocevic. What's gone on here? This is incredible. What a turn up for the books. It was all for Bukocevic. There's the bell, he survived. Wow.
That'll be 110-7 round. Incredible.
Well, you know, it's, for me, Ribeiro was looking for that one punch, and it didn't serve him. He had 5 rounds to do it. Scoring-wise, that's insane.
That is insane for sure. Bukocevic should still have it. I mean, he had knockdowns obviously in previous rounds, and he obviously had 10-9 rounds. This was absolutely nuts. Taking a look at how everything put itself together here. Bukocevic on the chase, slips.
Well, it didn't look like it was all that damaging. It looked like Bukocevic was causing the trouble here, catching Ribeiro. Oh, that was it. Zarchik could be the man.
And this MMA rules bout takes place at a catch weight of minus 73.5 kilograms and will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Mr. Alexander Zoric. Introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, age 37. He stands at 178 centimeters tall. He brings an extensive record. 35 fights, 23 wins, and 12 defeats. Representing Fight Company Belgrade from Serbia is Dusan Cyborg Zakic. And opposing him, fighting out of the red corner on the other side of the cage, he's 34 years of age and standing at 170 centimeters tall. He brings a record of 16 fights, 12 wins and only 4 defeats. Representing American top team Zagreb from Croatia, it's Francisco Croata Barrio! Fighters to the center, please, for your fight instructions.
Fighters, you know the rules. Listen to my command all the time. When I say stop, you stop. Touch gloves, go to your corners.
Referee Zoric giving them the order of proceedings. There's the number, Chris. What do you say?
Yeah, the losses are interesting. Zakic has them, but he's faced a lot of good competition. And Barrio, most interestingly, was so dissatisfied with his last loss, unable to pull the trigger. Look for him to get back to winning ways in different style here tonight.
Quite differential, obvious. Zakic, well, this is his comeback and his farewell fight, all in one. Barrio is a difficult man to beat. He can take a shot on the chin. He's got great skills on the ground. Greco-Roman wrestler at the highest level. Dusan Zakic, has he got those skills, Chris?
I think so. He looks in the shape of his life to me. But Barrio, this is what he didn't really get going, was the wrestling and the boxing last time. It was such a clinch fest and really an uneventful clinch fest. So as unhappy as he was, I'm looking for him to right that wrong.
Comes straight in, goes for low leg takedown, doesn't get down low enough, gets caught in a headlock guillotine. And Zakic controlling him up against the wire here now. And this is what Barrio does. He's attritional. He gets up on you, wears you down, grinds you down. Look at the head go in. Now he starts to use the knees. He really works you over. Now, if he's motivated and he starts to soften up Zakic early doors, well, look, he goes round the back for that hook takedown and already working to take the back and manhandles Zakic down to the ground.
Awesome to see Barrio get that duck under. Again, like, it's one of the things he just couldn't get to materialize, and he's so gifted in the clinch, being a Greco-Roman guy. Gets down there, traps the left leg of Zakic. I'm not sure quite what Zakic has a hold of. He might have a figure 4 counter here. Looks like he's got the double wrist lock.
Yeah, he's definitely spoiling Barrio. Barrio wants to get round and take the back, can't pull out. Being spoiled, that's a great move from Zakic. He's really stopping the play here. Has he got leverage? No, he hasn't. Well, now side control for Barrio. Barrio on the ground, man, is a dangerous, dangerous guy.
Now, if I'm Barrio, I'd be looking for a spinning arm lock attack here. There's a good counter he has potentially. Zakic definitely very, very intent on holding on to that, and it's a good one. Cage is kind of a little bit of his enemy right now.
Yeah, but what he's doing effectively is spoiling Barrio from getting round the back and taking it completely. But he's slipping, he's inching his way round, and if he can do it, Barrio is incredible in this position. Look, he's turned his man already. Now he's got the position that he wants, but Zakic is not letting go of that left arm. It's incredible, and that's his saving grace here, Zakic. He's had to focus on that, and he's kept Barrio in that off position. Now Barrio's free. Goes round, rolls his man out, gets one hook in. Can he get the arm round the back? He's going to work from here. Zakic could be in trouble.
Barrio could go head and arm choke. This is his game. It's all chokes. Last 4 wins have been chokes. 3 of them the RNC. That's his specialty with the back take, but it's all linked up to this game.
Barrio, the strangler, now looking to do some damage here. Turn his man round, start to put some heavy shots in. He can punch, but he's only interested in the back. Look at that, double hooks now with the legs. All over Zakic. This is incredible. Barrio just playing at will here.
It's nice to see him take his time, though. He's getting the grips right. He's got the seatbelt grip. He's got his guard in. It was lovely. Actually, he threatened to reverse Kimura to open this up. So it was intriguing to see the Kimura thrown on him, and then he went reverse Kimura. Now again, Zakic going Kimura.
look at this now. He stayed so cool, so intent to work that move on somebody like Barrio. You've got to be confident in it, and Barrio spoiled now with that lock. He's got his left arm trapped in there. He's not doing any damage. Zarkic absolutely expressionless on the ground there, just working so methodically and mechanically. But listen, I've got such a lot of respect for Barrio. He is a difficult man to beat, and from this position now he could go armbar. He's reversed, didn't go, and what will he do here, Chris, that's going to be meaningful?
Yeah, it was awesome to see him actually, again, threaten the arm lock or threaten a Kimura of his own. He was going to go north-south, but has settled into side control. Zarkic is impressive, but Barrio did such a good job of actually stepping over his arm and trapping his arm and keeping it out of jeopardy.
He goes to work here, Barrio. This is his office, and great spoiling work from Zarkic. He's really doing everything he can to keep Barrio out, but Barrio huffing and puffing and trying to get inside that house. Not blow it down, but blow it out. Working from that top position. He's dominated. Half a minute left in this first round. It's a great round for Barrio. That height differential, I mean, he looks almost, 10 inches shorter than Zarkic, and you'd think that would make a difference, but no, the Barrio has been all over this.
The collapse and control of Barrio is just awesome to watch. They say in the gym, actually, Darko Stosic can't even sweep him off his back, so that shows you the kind of pressure this guy can bring at this weight from the top, and he's doing a great job of clearing the legs, staying heavy from half. Half is a really underrated position in my view. Barrio, just a masterclass here. Great round.
Wow, how tough was that? Zarkic looks an absolute specimen of fitness. Barrio turns up, and I've said this about him before, he just looks like a bloke. You'd have to really, really study this man if you met him in a bar and you had altercation, because he just looks like a guy that's leaning up against the bar. He's not. He's a high-level apex predator, and one look at his ears would deter you from getting into any kind of argument or altercation with him. Look at him works beautifully.
And this is the part where he was able to trap his arm actually and prevent the figure four counter, which Zarkic went to a couple of times, and Zarkic is legit. I mean, this guy's training at 10th Planet in Belgrade. The guy has clearly prepared for this camp, but again, like we said, the frustration for Barrio coming from his last fight was motivation as well to improve.
So he's the current FNC lightweight champion. He has to perform here, and then, this is what is going to motivate him. He's really, really got to keep his wits about him, Barrio, and be aggressive. But Zarkic looks very measured, looks very controlled, and he looks like a man that's going to be patient and has worked out a strategy. Locking the left hand of Barrio has been so effective here, and brings in the punches, left, right, cross. They're a bit leisurely. Going to cause a problem for Barrio. Barrio straight in with the head, straight in for a high double leg takedown, doesn't do it, wants to get his man up against the wire. There you go, exactly the same play as before. Headlock stroke guillotine from Zarkic, and then Barrio works his way up to the upright and just is so effective at taking down his opponent. Throws in that outside trip, Okosotogaki. Heel hooks him round the back if he can, but just now power play, and there's the leg round the back. Tries to take the back standing up. I mean, it's wild.
Barrio is just doing a great job of being relentless and digging his toes in here. This is the kind of pressure that is just so tough to describe unless you've been in there and felt it. Again, Kimura trap counter. Look at that. A Barrio, beautiful. Perfect. Textbook high crotch. Picks him up, peels him off the fence, and then clears to being in a position where that figure four is a totally fruitless endeavor. There's no reason to hold on to it. Forces the back. It's just gorgeous grappling from Barrio, and it's a totally different mindset from the last time we saw him.
Well, look, we said in the introduction, he's a top-level Greco-Roman wrestler with over 100 wins. He was a one-time, multi-time medalist in the Pan American Games. He is relentless. He is attritional. He just grinding domination that comes with Barrio. He's just unbelievable. But look at this now, reversal. Zarkic manages to throw a curve. Barrio just was a little unprepared for that, having to defend here, and he's going for that left hand the whole time. He's trying to weaken it, isn't he? This is the play from Zarkic, trying to weaken that left hand to maybe get advantage and slip it into a lock.
It was nice to see him thinking about going reverse triangle and then reverse crucifix. Couldn't get it. Barrio read that. It was good. He was a little bit worried, you could tell. Again, back to the figure four. This is really tricky, though. Again, Barrio keeps using the fence to his advantage to block the ability to maybe that Zarkic would be able to sweep him with it, for example, or get the torque that he wants. And he's also very good at hiding it. Just basic defense. He hides it either in his hip or hides his arm underneath his chest, underneath his stomach, typically.
Well, lots of wear and tear visible on Dusan Zarkic. And of course, there's motivation for him as well in front of a home crowd here in Belgrade. It's his swan song as well as his comeback. Tonight has been a night of anomalies, it really has. You've had people being knocked out early in a round only to come back and knock out their opponents. You've had people knock each other out in the same round and come back. Tonight we've got somebody coming back and leaving, and well, he's going to want to put on a show tonight. This is the second round, there's 1.5 minutes left. He's going to need to do something now, Dusan Zarkic, because if it does go the distance, and believe it or not, Barrio, you look at the fitness and you think, it can't go the distance, he's going to gas himself. This guy is like a perpetual motor. He runs on just pure attrition.
And it's a suffocating performance. It's the kind of thing that just continues like quicksand to bury you over time. Zarkic has shown up, though. He's quite, clearly prepared. Mentally, he looked very focused going into this. I like the fact that he dropped a little weight. But just look at that pass from Barrio. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Upper body grips, tight chest to chest, clears the legs. Again, forces the back, right? The back and the mount are totally interchangeable, and that's such an important part of Barrio's game.
I've seen Barrio stand and trade. He can box, he can take a shot, and he can use the stand-up. But this is dangerous territory now for Dusan Zarkic. He manages to escape there from a possible RNC. Look, he's turned things around, goes for the mount, and this time Zarkic gets the energy, reverses it all. This time he's got the back, and look at that, Barrio has to turtle up. But can Zarkic turn his man round? And he has, and he's got a choke on. Has Barrio done too much? Will he get tapped out here?
That was close. That was so close. He got both hooks in. Beautiful. Barrio actually got a little bit tired. I feel like maybe caught resting. Tough to see exactly what occurred, but this is the key, right? Zarkic wants to get his hand underneath the chin and the grip behind the shoulder.
Can he do it? Barrio will have been here before. He's got to survive. We're on the 10-second clapper. Is it just a little bit too late for Zarkic? That's the bell. Barrio knew he was near the end of it. Wow. Well, we're rolling home here in Belgrade. This is high-level stuff. And I tell you now, it's almost a masterclass in defense and attack.
It is. It's exactly that. It's a masterclass in defense and attack on the ground. And it's cool to see it also in up around MMA, because it's not like it's a pure grappling fight either. Absolutely beautiful work.
And, I have to say, as a stand-up guy, it's even hard for me to appreciate the skill level here that's, being an operation. Just nuanced movements that you wouldn't even think that, half the time you can't even see. But just weight distribution, thrust, effort, energy, all used at the right time. It's just incredible. This is high level. After seeing so many first-round finishes that have absolutely just been boom. You hit the room, it's all gone, it's all over. We're seeing now all being made up for. Third and final round here in what could be a contender for the fight of the night. It's Dusan Zarkic taking on Francisco Barrio. If we had to score it, Chris, where would we be?
Solid rounds for Barrio. Barrio's absolutely up.
Yeah. We thought a rabbit was coming out of the hat from Zarkic. It still might. Maybe Barrio's a little gassed here. But, well, it's all to play for as far as Zarkic is concerned. He can throw caution to the wind. He knows he's behind, and he knows that whatever he does, he's got to put it all into this one concerted effort for the third and final round. It's not a title fight, but at catch weight, Dusan Zarkic from Serbia takes on the Argentinian Croatian Francisco Albano Barrio. It's the third and final round.
Barrio's tired for sure. He didn't look all that tired until the very end of that round when he gave up that back take. And again, like, he's never been submitted in his career. He's a very difficult guy to deal with on the ground, but Zakic went fishing.
So he's such a difficult opponent to deal with. He's like Velcro. Once he gets onto you, you can't separate him. The whole bout, Zakic has just tried to get the head of Barrio off his chest, but of course Barrio knows that that's the secret. Well, he's got crank on here, he's got a headlock, he's got a guillotine. Can he make it work? I don't think he has. Too slippery to jump it. He hasn't got the room.
Yeah, the crowd sensing a potential there, but it wasn't going to happen. I mean, Barrio, you can just see he's either so good at tucking his chin and bringing his shoulders in, or doing the T-Rex like this with his arms and bringing them real tight, or he really postures quite hard and high. Again, lovely. It's just that relentless pressure. Again, an attempt at a figure four from Zakic is like the same old story is playing out over and over and over. Barrio takes him down off the cage. Zakic tries the figure four.
It's incredible. It's like every round has started the same. If you tuned in for the first time and thought this was the first, you'd not be far wrong. It's exactly the same modus operandi. They've both obviously come with a plan. It served Zakic to immobilize that left arm, and but not over the course of time, because it's allowed Barrio to work, and he's done that very well. I mean, you know, how do you stop the force that is Barrio? I mean, he is just such a high-level player, so creative. When he finishes, it's clinical. You know, he's just there, throwing everything at you. I mean, just a submission engineer.
Again, a potential to go reverse Kimura. He's not going to go for it, though. I love it. It's really nice because, again, this is an easy counter there. When you've got that position, when the opponent is going for that on you, you can easily get to the back if you're crafty, and he's trying to clear the legs here to do that. Very smart. Just constant hip pressure from Barrio, forearm pressure, heavy, 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 heavy pressure, a kind of pressure that feels almost uncommon for someone of his size.
Yeah, the size ratio, the fitness ratio between these two is just incredible, and that's a testimony to Barrio. He's a dangerous guy, a fully legit guy, and you know, you look at him and he's like a car crash in slow motion. Everything about him is purposeful, intentional, and he just smothers you, just gets on you like Velcro. You can't get away. I mean, you know, and at every point here, Dusan Zakic has run out of road. That fence has kept him locked in and just stopped everything that he's tried to counter with against Barrio. But Barrio knows that, and that's why Zakic is there.
The mechanics for Barrio are such that you can see even now, watch his toes do the work. See him dig his toes into the mat, slide forward, pressure against the fence with his head. When he's tired, and quite clearly at the end of the second he was tired, he just went into autopilot and said, look, I'm going to use my technique, and I'm going to slow this fight down and drag it into my office and keep it here. And he'll have won the fight.
Under a minute. And, you know, we've seen tonight you don't have to be an endless fountain of genius. We've seen people stretched out with one punch, absolutely laid out, sent to the canvas. But you look at Barrio, and he is a fountain of genius. All of the moves, the maneuvers, everything to get into this, where he can take the back. He doesn't want to stand and trade. He wants the submission. Now look at the power play. Doesn't quite pull it off. Ends up still on top. Open guard. And that's closed very quickly. Oh, up goes the arms, the legs for the arm from Zakic, but it's not going to work. Not against Barrio. Barrio inside control. Well, the clock's ticking away, Chris. It's going to be a decision, I think, for this.
A very clear decision for Barrio, but a very game performance from Zakic. The guy showed up, he was in shape, he trained, and he was prepared to deal with some of the challenges that undoubtedly he was going to face against Barrio. But tonight, the reinvigorated Barrio should get the nod.
Barrio, eh? Trouble in a box. Just unbelievable. No obstacles. Height differential, fitness. Anyway, that's that. And I don't think there's any real prizes for guessing who took that. And that's lovely to see. Respect from both players here. But great rolling. great attack, great defense, great skill levels. And Barrio, well, living proof that, you know, you don't have to be Superman in terms of fitness or energy to be a high-level competitor. It's about skills, and then he's got them in abundance.
Love to see him back at lightweight, right?
The announcement, and I think the decision's a foregone conclusion.
And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of those 3 completed rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score this bout 30 points to 27 in favor of your winner. In the red corner, Francisco Croata Padio. And show your appreciation for our runner-up, Dusan Djakic.
Hoću da pokažem što bolje od sebe. Za mene neprijatelj svaki put sledeći kada budem vidio napašću ga i to. Mislim da su oni volali sporiti. Nakon ovog sam siguran da mu se sva vrata otvaraju.
To you firstly, in the blue corner, the challenger. 30 years of age and standing at 183 centimeters tall. He brings an excellent record of 12 fights, 11 wins, and only the single defeat. Representing Fight Company Belgrade from Serbia, it's Stefan Nagusic! And opposing him, fighting out of the red corner on the other side of the cage, the champion. He's 29 years of age and stands at 185 centimeters tall. His record so far, a perfect one. 14 fights, 14 wins. He's representing Kardashian Silny from Serbia. He's the reigning and defending minus 77 kilogram welterweight FNC world champion, Yaksovic. Fighters to the center, please, for your fighting instructions.
Championship bout,
Gentlemen,
5 rounds.
Fight clean, listen to my commands at all times, keep your strap protected. Touch gloves if you want, step back.
And just looking at the numbers, Chris, anything we need to know? Both 30 years of age.
Yeah, for sure. 25 wins. Combined 23 finishes in those 25 combined wins. This one I don't think goes the full distance.
Well, it's a championship bout. The belt is up for grabs. It's going to be defended very, very strongly, as you can imagine, by Djokovic. We're not going to give that away, but Negucic, fast finisher. Both these guys can do it and get it done in the first.
Yeah, for me, the over-under is 10 minutes. Both guys are really, really dangerous early and late, but I'd be shocked if we see round 3.
Great left hand, that hook. Djokovic gets power, winds it up and lets it go. A little bit of a low kick there we're seeing from Negucic. Big overhand right, way off. Saw that coming yesterday. They're both, a lot of respect, but they're dangerous. The shots are hard, and if they can land them, well, it could be showstoppers here. So both are taking the time to have a look, see, have a little feel. That low kick's showing Negucic an entry in, but he gets punished. Look at that left, that straight hand left from Djokovic. and he bangs his man back straight through the middle. Great power. They're thundering, aren't they, Chris?
Jaksovic is really clean off the counter here. I'm seeing some improvements. It looked to me like Negucic was the more confident striker to start, but sometimes he's leading with his forehead a little bit into these combinations, and Jaksovic was able to find it with a straight left.
Jaksovic is coming straight through the front door, straight hands, straight front kick, and I think he's found his entry route. He's just absolutely linear in everything that he's doing here. No going around the outside, and out straight shortest route to get out of trouble, knowing that Negucic can, if he gets it right, do a lot of damage. So they're trying to find their way, get their rhythm. No one's really having a dominant round here, but dangerous, and getting on the inside and closing the distance is the key here.
Negucic is trying to work that outside slip for the left, so oftentimes he's moving to the outside of the punch. Maybe Jaksovic goes for a head kick or something like this off it.
Millimetrically looking for the shot that would just cheat its way through. Negucic, good standard work there. Left-right combinations, kicks. Good bread and butter stuff. But head-hunting Jaksovic, and he's got the power.
He's dealing very well with the pressure from Negucic. And again, that was what they had promised, right? They wanted to go out there and show the striking, but they're not just trying to break the door in with absolute brute force or power or try to outgun him straight on. It's very sharp left hand, very good timing. Even Negucic is often leading in these exchanges, but he's getting hit.
Jaksovic very sharp, but Negucic has found his rhythm here, and he's finding a way of kind of breaking through the safety, the safeguard that Jaksovic has got. And Jaksovic gets caught with the right hand. A little bit of sloppy defense there, and he moves the wrong way and gets caught. Negucic has found his rhythm, starts to put some shots in here. He's unloading, but gets sent back with a little message of his own. So it's starting to liven up here. We knew it wouldn't be long before these two started laying heavy hands, and they're doing that. Every one of these shots is thunderous. And there's the takedown. It goes to the ground.
Lovely. Jaksovic had to go for it. That was the time. It was becoming 50-50.
There's the bang. That's a knockdown. Can he get up from that? Jaksovic won't let him. Wow, it was two in and throw in. Referee looking very closely. And look at this now. Jaksovic tries to take the back of Negucic. Throws his man down, ragdolls him. Negucic was hurt. There's still 40 seconds left. He can do this if he can work it. This is unbelievable. It's a championship bout.
He nearly went ninja choke there, Will. Very smart. Go to the back, though. Forget that whole front headlock thing, because you can do punches here really easily. Threaten the back, threaten the punches under the guard, around the top of the guard.
Negucic having to eat all of this. Manages to break free. And a bit of a problem with his nose, but defend yourself at all times. Look at this, Jaksovic back in the game. We're on the 10-second clapper. Big right overhand right there from Negucic. This is a dangerous, dangerous place right at this moment in time. They are taking and giving so much out. Chris, thrills and spills.
One of the best rounds of the night for sure. And it's so cool to see a championship fight where both guys are going out there. And there was some feeling out, for sure, to a degree. But there was also a lot of gambles being taken.
Some luscious, luscious shots thrown there. Really, look at that. Sends his man back. That straight left, dominating. And Negucic comes back, finds himself on the inside, fires in the shots himself. But Jaksovic just managed to make them hurt more. And in that last exchange, well, it really was troublesome. That was a lovely takedown. They rolled beautifully.
Yeah, excellent maneuver here. Look at the way he grabs the back of the leg, rolls straight through. Gorgeous counter. Perfect technique as well, and great timing. Negucic is the real deal. And he's had his moments for sure, but I feel like that's a good round for Jaksovic.
Two of a scheduled 5 championship bout. Straight away, Negucic running in where Angel's fear to tread, makes a mistake, has to get out quick, finds himself on the wire, double leg shoot, and we're seeing now that Djokovic wants to maybe take this to the ground.
Very smart. Lovely to see that as well. Feint the hands, show that you're closing the distance just as your opponent did to you, and then perfect level change once he's run out of real estate up against the wire. Very, very smart fighting from Djokovic, and this is what I figured he needed to do here tonight. You know, be patient, be a little bit more calculated than the opposition, and don't go to try to prove a point to an end.
Well, in that first round for me, they were both looking to slip the firewall. They did, but now this is serious in the second. Djokovic takes his man down, and foul play there from Negucic, holding onto the wire. Referee unhooked him real quick, but Djokovic now looking to work the ground game here, trying to close his man down, but he's turtled up nicely, isn't he? He's in that very controlled fetal position. Negucic is not offering anything up, but if there's anything to be found, Djokovic will unravel it.
Nearly went Kimura. Again, we've seen this a lot here tonight where the fence has kind of prevented these maneuvers from unfolding. That was from the top this time, but really from half, quarter, arguably. Good hand fighting as well. We've seen Negucic a couple of times use that. We saw it used up against the wire earlier here, even just from this kind of sitting position. Djokovic could counter, though. Yeah, very, very smart. I love it. Again, look at the way he reaches behind the back and actually grabs the reverse arm, trying to get the wrist ride. Couldn't get it, though. Again, Negucic is the real deal.
He's giving spinning back elbows and back fists in reply. Great left and right there from Negucic. So you can tell this is championship level. Just high quality. The strikes, the creativity, where they're reaching for the tools, what they're using. Hand speed of Djokovic, incredible. Works a counter beautifully, and just so powerful as well. But look at Negucic. Great hooks. Comes round the outside with a left, finds its way in. But it's the straight punches from Djokovic that have impressed me so far.
The corners must be going absolutely bananas right now, because for sure there is an element of sticking to the game plan, but there's also a little bit of both guys trying to one-up each other a little bit. You know, it's back and forth. It's you go, it's I go. No one taking a backward step. Heavy right hand there from Djokovic. Negucic eats that head kick. That's what I was talking about. As long as he moves his head a little bit and drops that left hand, that was the right head kick I was looking for.
He said he wanted to show he had punching power, keep it in the upright, Djokovic. He started to take it to the ground. He's done another shoot there to go to the ground. So much for the KO power that he was looking to demonstrate. He's tried that. Negucic has proved that he's going to be much harder, and back to what he knows best. This is his office, and so he's working beautifully on the ground, gone for the shoot, trying to control his man. And it's interesting that all the play we've seen so far on the ground has been up against the wire.
Yeah, a lot of times, because Djokovic has been timing his takedowns off the fence primarily. And look at the old shoulder of justice here. Oh, that is so horrible. The way that he pushes the shoulder away from Negucic's ability to turn into him, right? Opens up the pass and opens up the head and arm choke here.
Yeah, he's got crank on that. I don't know if it's enough, but Negucic using both his hands there and his knee to leverage out of that. He's not going to give this up easily, Djokovic.
And the technique from Negucic to actually grab his own hand with the 10-finger grip and thread his leg in there. Really, really smart defense. Djokovic is trying to slice that pie, though, by cutting the left knee along the right knee. Now, look at this. Now he goes figure four. That's an even tighter grip. And I love how tight he is on the shoulder there. The way that he's reaching around the back of the neck of Negucic and actually grabbing to the back, almost to the lat.
That elbow going into the floating rib, that's attritional. You can only take so much of that. That's got to wear his man down, and you can see Negucic, the look of absolute horror that that shot is going in, maybe 5-6 times. So Djokovic now working very well. He's got crank on that Head and arm lock. Oh my goodness, that's it. It's all over. There's a submission. It's a tap out. You really see that choke effected from that position so well. Oh, he put him to sleep. That's a tap out. My goodness me, submission. Whoa, what a clinical finish. Oh, well, what a constructed sequence that was. Just unbelievable, Djokovic. Dangerous man.
A technical submission win there right on the bell. The referee walked over, did a double check, and he was out cold. Nagucic, I told you it wouldn't last 10 minutes, Will.
Well, and still, the FNC
Polako mali. Ajmo, Ruski, ajmo, još pričaš o parama, ajde se bijemo. Hoćeš li? Ti, imaš problem neki, a? Ajde, imaš neki problem, možemo ga riješiti u istinu odmah. Tvoje karte su bile bolje. Roki, ti nisi skapirao izgleda priču, ove pare ođe ostaju, ove pare ne idu za nikakvu Sloveniju, za Goricu, ovo ostaje sve u Beogradu.
Sad ćemo igrati moju igru.
Šahmat.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our final fight, our main event of the evening. Let's do it one more time, Belgrade. And so, please welcome firstly to the blue corner from Slovenia, Miran Sloroki.
Fabian from Slovenia, professional kickboxer before making the switch to the small gloves. Since then he's been knocking people out in the first round and into his 4 MMA fights. He won his last 2 fights with FNC. It's vicious people talking. This event, there's been a lot of trash talking between him and his opponent. And well, tonight we'll see whether he can step up to the plate, put his money where his mouth is. Extremely strong kickboxer, iconic kickboxing background, heavy hitter. He's also been in intensive day training for the last 3 years. His nickname Slow Rocket, he never quits. Twice he's won the audience over.
crazy how the deal came together. If he knocked out Marazagila, he would get Stosic here in Belgrade a ton of smack talk. He's been jesting Stosic at every opportunity all week. He's been at to break him up a couple of times. But here is a guy who has much more on him than talk. He wants to bait you into a firefight. He's very good at moving his head. And if he can hurt Stosic early, he can win this fight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the red corner in the cage, Serbia's favorite fighting son, Darko the Hammer Stosic!
Stosic, ex-UFC man. Started off as a judoka. It's now just an ichigaiki, one big hit to finish everything. Everything with Stosic is big. Big punches, big takedowns, big ground and pound. Knockouts are his currency with loads in the bank. Likes a ground and pound. He's got 14 KOs on his record. He's the #1 KSW heavyweight contender. Comes tonight to FNC to fight in his hometown in Belgrade. Listen, there's a lot of beef between these two. Miran Fabian did a good job of upsetting Darko Stosic, but it's all in the name. It's going to get very dark.
Very heavy man. Great wrestling. He's wrestling here. Most important, keep it on the outside of his pocket. He's so dangerous.
Scheduled for 3 FNC MMA rounds. Darko Stosic takes on Miran Fabian in our main event. It's heavyweight. The big boys have come out to play.
Darko the Hammer Stosic! And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, our final fight, our main event of the evening. This MMA rules bout takes place in the heavyweight division. This bout will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Alexander Zoric. Introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the blue corner, age 39, he stands at 182 centimeters tall. He brings a professional MMA record of 6 fights, 4 wins and only 2 defeats. He's fighting out of Trojan Free Fighters in Pula, Croatia, from Slovenia, where he's known as the Slow Rocky, Miran Fabian! And on the other side of the cage, he's fighting out of the red corner, someone who needs no introduction in this part of the world. He's 32 years old and he stands at 183 centimeters tall. He's a record, an impressive one. 26 fights, 20 wins, and only the 6 defeats. He's representing MMA Crvena Zvezda Belgrade. He's Serbia's favorite fighting son, where he's known as the Hammer, Darko Stosic! Both fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Fighters, you know the rules. Listen to my command. When I said stop, you stop. Touch gloves, go to your corner.
Well, you can smell the meat. It went dark for a while when these two came out. These are the numbers. Chris, what do we extrapolate from this?
Most important is the weight. Stosic looks lean, he looks fit, but Fabian up, he's got big power here, though.
Much anticipated. The main event, and look at this! Miran Fabian causes an upset straight away. Stosic hits the canvas. What a turn up for the books. Oh, left hand from Miran Fabian sends Stosic down to the canvas. Fabian having the fight of his life here. Stosic doing all he can to stem the flow. You have to bear in mind that Fabian yesterday was involved in a car crash. Oh, this is hell's a popping here.
Incredible performance here from Miran Fabian. He walked out the underdog here tonight. 3-1 dog. He's taking this fight to Darko Stosic right now.
Well, he's laying on heavy hands and finding a way in. Stosic caught off guard here. What a surprise. What an upset this could cause here tonight.
This would be absolutely massive. Everything that Darko Stosic has worked for, all of the wins, all of the performances, Miran Fabian promised to steal it. He nearly did here in the opening minute.
He's come here to do business. There's no doubt about that. He could be the wild joker in the pack. Stosic needs to calm this down. Stosic needs to take his time and just work through this. But Fabian, what a handful. And I mean, I know Rocky from a long time back on a game like Bakocevic having halcyon comeback. Stosic in trouble. Look at Fabian. Stosic having to defend here. Miran Fabian from Slovenia laying heavy hands on Darko Stosic. Stosic can't even take it to the mat. Stosic coming back behind the knees. These are the big boys coming out to play. It's sensational action here at FNC 17.
Head pressure here from Stosic is key. He's got to close this distance down. With the dirty boxing going, take a deep breath or two. Because Miran Fabian had sniped him there in the opening round.
Well, what a turn up for the books. Really surprised everyone. At least it was Darko Stosic. Well, he's an ex-UFC fighter. And look at it now, he's going to work. Has Fabian expended too much energy? Professional kickboxer before making the switch to the small gloves. He's been knocking out people in the first round in each of his 4 MMA fights. Different gravy though, Darko Stosic. And the name, I think, tells everything. Darko, he comes from the dark side. He's now got the power. He's got this controlling position. Passes guard. Being held in half. Miran Fabian in trouble here now. What a reversal. But he's been here before, Fabian, and I think he can ride this out. It's not his first rodeo, but what an absolute turn up for the books. As I say, yesterday, a car crash just before the weigh-ins, but he came to the hotel and said that he wanted to confront Stosic. What a face-off. It exploded with 150k views in 20 hours. I mean, everyone is watching this bout here tonight.
And Stosic had worked on his grappling so much since the last defeated three. So I know how much he wanted to show that off in MMA, and that is what he's keeping him alive in this fight right now. Heavy pressure here. Now, Fabian, of course, is a blue belt. Turned purple belt at the beginning of his fight camp. He recently got that about 8 weeks ago, so he's no slouch here, but make no mistake about it. Stosic really wants to leverage this position here for the next 90 seconds.
And Stosic wants to get the job done because there's a lot of trash talk. Miran Fabian really was adding to the hype with this, but Stosic now starts to get leverage and go to work. And Fabian in survival mode here. There's a minute left in this first round. We were debating that this would never go the distance. We were debating what round it would finish in. Stosic caught off guard. He was hurt, but that's the sign of a true champion. He's the #1 contender in KSW. He doesn't want to be taken out here. That would be dreadful, a loss against Fabian. Chris, this is just now starting to get really heated in there.
And Fabian's never been knocked out in MMA. He is such a tough guy. So gifted at staying in the fight. That's the slow rock before you hear, but Stosic, an angry man.
Yeah, absolutely. And he earned the nickname Rocky because he survived. The crowd gets behind him. But Stosic now starting to do the damage. This is where the tide could turn. Could be in all kinds of trouble. Fabian is stopped. That's it. Stosic has done the job here tonight. And it hasn't been pretty. He didn't expect to come in and work this hard tonight, Darko Stosic. But he had to dig deep, go down into the basement, open up the toolbox and come up with some stuff.
What a performance here from Miran Fabian. Came out, made Stosic a little bit frustrated. He played it into a power fight. They were advanced. Took it down to center line. He really hurt it. But ultimately, Stosic was able to get that momentum going again. So, that's what he's doing in this martial art. Make no mistake about it, Will. You will survive it on your team.
So the first round finished Darko Stosic looked a bit tricksy at the beginning of this, I have to say. Well, what an entrance. And Stosic, wear and tear. I mean, he's taken some shots. Just look at the action here. The ground and pound relentless. Hammer fist, punches going in. And Miran Fabian really taking all of that. I mean, it was relentless. And, you know, everyone's calling for this to be stopped. Fabian in all kinds of trouble there. What a brave effort, though. He came, he turned up, and I always thought it was going to be a bridge too far. Stosic is different graving. Took him a while to warm up to the task, though.
Yeah, exactly that, and just so many unanswered shots. A very good job from the referee. Let this thing continue, even when Stosic was hurt. Here, just the hammer fist. The coverage from Fabian was there, but that's just not enough. That's not a sign of a finger position. That's not an intelligent defense. So, too much traffic here from Darko Stosic, and heavy, heavy punches to close out this one-round barn burner.
Well, I'm counting 5 first-round finishes tonight here at FNC 17. Stosic looks like he's been shifted. You know, it could have been touch and go for him. That was not an easy night in the office, I'm telling you now. There was no coffee break. It was fire in the hole right from the get-go. The crowd love it, and they love Miran Fabian. So he made a nuisance of himself early on. Stosic has had to work hard. What a turn up for the books. Fabian offers up his hand. What a clash between these two. And, you know, props to Fabian. It turned out that Stosic, different gravy. And then, you know, just had the biggest hype this matchup. But Rocky, what an effort there. Miran Fabian just comes to do business. And Stosic, you know, be careful what you ask for, especially as far as Darko Stosic is concerned. But he had to go to work.
Again, there was so much smack talk, right? Stosic had to be stoic and deal with all the things coming from Fabian, all the promises, the taunts, the jesting, the things on camera. And although you don't let it get to you, ultimately it does kind of befuddle the situation. So there were some clouds, I think, walking out to the ring here tonight, but Stosic was able to clear those clouds after getting clipped by Fabian. Man, that was a shootout, Will.
Well, a call out. We've had some technical hitches here live at the arena in Belgrade, and we don't quite know if you've missed some of it or not, but you caught the tail end of it.
Belgrade, your appreciation to both men. Put your hands together, Belgrade. Show your appreciation to both men after a wild 4.5 minutes. And with an official cage side time recorded of 4 minutes and 30 seconds completed of round number 1. Your winner by TKO in the red corner from Serbia, Darko Stosic! And show your appreciation for our runner-up, Miran Fabian.
Predao je suvlasnik FNC, jedan od čelnika, gospodin Bob Berman. Evo, dame i gospodo, gospodin Dražen Forgać je rekao da će Miran Fabian dobiti bonus za pobjedu kao da je pobjedio. Mirane, čestitam ti, izgubio si, ali mislim da ti je nakon ovog meča dionica još porasla gore i da si dobio još više fanova. Čestitam ti od srca. Molim jedan pljesak za ratnika, stvarno je slow Rocky. Nisi ništa izgubio.
Belgrad, obećao sam vam da ćete nositi stoleta u stavu, a sad vas molim da mene ne nesite. Hvala star. Neću playivat. Izvinjavam se sve ko sam uvrijedio. Stvarno sam htio oštetiti Darkota, ni mi je uspjelo. On je oštetio mene, tako da pljesak za stoleta. Još sam tvoj fan. Hvala Stolet za šansu. Hvala Beograde za energiju. Volim vas.
Slow Rocky, Miran Fabijan! Dare, čestitam od srca. Kako je to izgledalo iznutra, neću se ništa pitati na početku. 2 šoka, 2 knockdowna, preživio si, pokazao si veličinu i na kraju slavio na svoj tipični način Hammer Time.
Iskreno znate da sam ja uvek realan i da govorim istinu. Tako da moram da kažem da je Rocky istinski najjači udarač s kojim sam ja radio do sada. A radio sam sa dosta njih. Nikome nikad u životu nije bacio ni na treningu, niti u meču. Eto, dogodilo mi se 2 puta za 15 godina da me ovako neko i bacio knockdown u prvoj rundi. Svaka čast Rocky, imaš moj respekt. A vama hvala puno na ovoj prelepoj večeri. Prelepo je vidjeti ovu arenu, da ovako pozdravlja MMA i da imamo ovakve fanove kod nas u glavnom gradu. Hvala vam puno. Nadam se da ću se sljedeći put boriti ovdje kad budem branio KST titulu šampiona. Hvala vam.
Dame i gospodo, The Hammer, Darko Stosić! Hvala još jednom Beograde, hvala Srbijo, vidimo se uskoro ponovo nekom FNC eventu. Živjeli!
Those drastic elbows going in. How is Wheeler still standing? Right hand, left hand, referee steps in, it's all over! And oh, there's a hand that knocked him down, it's a right hand, it's all over! He spent longer coming into the ring than he spent in it. Both. That uppercut was thunderous. He got 2 in there and he drops his man. Look at that right hand. Bone-crushing punches there. Absolutely phenomenal. He goes to work when the opportunity presents and he's just performed brilliantly here. That's what he's here to do. He's here. It's all over. There's a submission. It's a tap out. You rarely see that choke effective from that position so well. Oh, he put him to sleep. That's a tap out.